Christine Cooper is not an antichrist, and I am so very, very sorry for making that video. I would like to say that to you, Christine, and your followers. I am truly sorry, and I will have to live with that for a long time. You are not an antichrist. Christine, I went to a psychologist today. I made an appointment yesterday. It took me a while to get one with a short notice, but I managed to find a guy that would take me in. I pretended that I was a very concerned father calling about his son, that he was going through something, and that I was very concerned about him, and please talk to him and just see if there's something going on. So when I got there, I made it clear that I was there because of my father, that I had no reason to be here, just to keep him happy that everything was fine, and that he just doesn't see what I see. So we talked. He asked me a lot of questions about my background, my family, and that. And then he asked me, like, so what are you saying to your father that's got him so worried? And then I went on to explain that God has been talking to me, that I'm anointed by God, that he has shown me secrets in the Bible that he has not shown anybody else on earth, only me, and then I have to bring this to the people, that he showed me that the rapture is on July 17th at 3 o'clock. I brought in your calendar and I showed him that and explained how there's like a dual Passover, and that this was the mystery that was explained or shown to me by God that nobody else knew. So before we were talking a bit longer, but it went on for about 15-20 minutes. But before he actually made a diagnosis, I let him know why I was here, that it wasn't about me, that it was about a young lady on YouTube that I was concerned about. And we talked again. I showed him one or two of your videos and your calendar, and he compared the calendar to a scene in Beautiful Mind where the guy, Russell Crowe, has all these pictures and newspaper cuttings out stuck on the wall with these strings tying everything together, that if you looked at it would make absolutely no sense to anyone, but to Russell Crowe it made perfect sense. And I think if you look back on the explanations of the timeline and the calendar, I think you'll understand that it only makes sense to you, Christine. So I asked him, what can I do? What can I do? And he says, you just need to get her some help. He says, I can't make a full diagnosis, but I would say more than likely that she is bipolar. And he said that, her symptoms probably started years ago, that she's, and I don't know, was it manic or hypomanic stage, but this is where it comes from. What else did he say? Basically that was it, to try and get her to see a doctor. He said if you went to a doctor and talked to a doctor, that he would diagnose you properly and make recommendations for what you should do. What else? Yeah, I done this, Christine, as a friend. I think I might be your only friend, to be honest. But I would suggest that you reach out to your friends, tell them what you're telling people on YouTube, and get their reaction, and see what they say. Now, I'm not saying that everybody that hears from God or talks to God is bipolar. I'm not saying Christine is bipolar. I'm just saying that a doctor diagnosed her symptoms as more than likely being bipolar. Now God, talks to me a lot. Well, at least I think it's God. you know, simple stuff like I'll just all of a sudden think to call a friend, and I'll call, and that friend's like, oh, thank God you called. I needed to talk. I was going through this stuff. Or I'll be walking, I'll be heading to the store, and then I'll just decide to go a different route, go around the other way around the block, and then I'll run into an old lady that needs help, something like that, or someone that needs a cup of coffee or something like that. And also through songs. I mean, I was directed to those songs that I sent you, Christine. I don't know if you got them or not, but I didn't go searching for lyrics that made sense to you. Those songs just happened to be presented to me, and I was at God. I don't know, but I honestly think this, for me to go to a psychologist that was charging $400 for a half an hour. I didn't have $400 to spend. I couldn't afford that, but I decided to do it anyway because it really was so, like, I can't explain it, but I mean, was it God? I don't know. I just knew I had to do it. Now, thankfully, he didn't charge me for the session because, he just realized, the situation, and what I was doing was probably the right thing. If I could reach you, that, you could get help. So, you know, you don't have to worry about money to get help because you've got your free healthcare there in England. So you can go to a hospital, and they can, take care of you. So you don't have to worry about money. You don't have to be asking anybody for money. Your healthcare is free. And I have friends in London. I know I can reach out to them. There's support groups also for this. And when you do finally get your, life back in order, um, you can become an advocate, because the doctor said that, one of two things is going to happen. The first thing is that your symptoms are going to get worse. That your revelations are going to get stronger. You're going to have epiphanies that are even stronger than the last ones. So that's one scenario, that your symptoms will get worse. And the other one is your life will just come crashing down around you. But he said that that's going to happen inevitably, that this manic or this hypomanic stage only lasts for a while. You've been going through it now probably for 3 or 4 years, since 2014, when you started to get confidence. That's when the symptoms came up at the start. So it could you could crash next week. It could be a month from now. I have no idea. But I suggest, if you have friends out there, or friends that are listening to this, please try and get Christine some help. Like I said, I'm not scoffing or mocking or trying to take anything away. People are probably thinking this is another Moses Maloney attempt to turn people away from July 17th, but it's not. It's actually quite serious, I believe. I believe myself. I think that was everything. So, I don't know if you'll get this message, Christine, but I hope you do. You're going to be in for a rough ride when you come out of this manic or this hypomanic phase. But just know that God is there for you. Did he send or create Moses Maloney just to do this? I have no idea. All I know is I had to do this, and I have no regrets. But I do apologize sincerely for making that video about you, and all those other videos actually, because I didn't realize, that you were sick. And it's nothing to be ashamed of. You don't have to apologize for anything. It wasn't you. It was the disease. If that's what it is. Again, the doctor never said it was. He said more than likely it is. And I'm not saying it either. But I encourage you to, Christine, you have nothing to lose. Just go talk to a doctor. Tell him what you told everybody here, that God showed you, hidden secrets in the Bible. And just be honest with him and just see what he has to say. Because, you only have I think it is 7 days left, so I don't think you have anything to lose. So that's my video. I wish you all the best. I truly do, Christine. I truly, truly do. Goodbye.